maybe in certain parts of the world, so thank you so much. Also, if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, please step up to the microphone, because that's the only way that they will be able to hear you. So as a matter of introduction, I am Dr. J. Preston Jones, and I'm happy to serve as your dean of the H. Wayne Huizenga School of Business and Entrepreneurship at the Nova Southeastern University. That's for my Miami people out there. They get all upset when I say that. And this is an open forum, nothing formal, but I would share with you, I would really love to get your feedback, your ideas, your concerns, hopefully not too many criticisms, but I'll take those too, of how we're doing, but more importantly, how I and the faculty and this administration can help this experience, your educational experience, become better. That's really what this is all about. This is the first, I've been doing this every single year because it's important for me to hear the truth. And for all of my colleagues who know me, yes, sir. Trouble hearing? It's a technical thing. We really want to hear, is that better? Thank you. I really want to hear from you. And all my colleagues know me when I say this, and I live by this, and I want to share it with you. You're not responsible for my reaction to the truth if it's delivered in a professional, collegial way. Let me say that again. You're not responsible to my reaction to the truth if it's delivered in a professional and a collegial way. So with that, I'd like to hear from you. I have some questions here from people who are online. We can have our colleagues join us. But if there's anything that you'd like to ask of me, please feel free to do so. Anyone?
Good evening, Dean Jones, everybody. Dean, my question to you tonight is, I was having a conversation, I was in New York last week, and my peer said to me, it's interesting how the prerequisites work here. I'm in the entrepreneurship track of the MBA program, and he said, has the university ever considered reworking the prerequisites? Because it seems kind of interesting. We can take our venture creation class, and then we can go do our accounting class, and then we can do our finance. But he said to me, it seems like there could be a better order to the classes in which we take here in the entrepreneurship track, and perhaps even in the core track. So what are you and the faculty doing to just assess the order in which students take their classes moving forward?
Before you leave, are you suggesting that you've had difficulty with the sequence, or are you recommending sequences?
Well, it's not difficulty. It's just that I feel classes could lend each the order in which the classes I take could just be ordered a little better. For example, we have our prerequisites for certain classes, but they could be enhanced. But no, not difficulty necessarily.
Okay, all right. So let me share this. When I went through the program, and I graduated in 1989 with the MBA program, I transferred 2 courses into the program. It was org behavior and accounting. And so I'm an engineer, and there are a couple of prereqs that I needed. I needed finance, I needed marketing, a few others. And so I would take those before the graduate level course. But what I did do in the beginning is I sat down with my advisor and I planned out my entire career. The entire 18 months, I planned it out. So I knew exactly what I was going to take. And also went through the program with my cohort. And for the same students, we were together pretty much for the entire time, and that was very good too. So I see what you're saying now. And let me ask you this, would you appreciate moving through the program in lockstep cohorts, or would you prefer to have classes when you like to have them, how you want to have them? Yes. So yes to which?
The second part. I have different personalities
And I think to your point, and we're talking about sequencing, especially with the prereqs, I think it's best that we can help to create something where the student can sit down with their advisors and plan for the next year and a half as opposed to by semester. That's an
Yep.
issue, right? All right. Well, thank you very much. And,
Thank you.
And we'll make sure, I think Steve is working on something like that now. Thanks a lot. Anyone else? Yes, and your name is?
My name is Rachel. Oh, that's loud. My name's Rachel. I just want to say
Hello,
thank
Rachel.
you. Thank you so much for having this interaction with us. My question is about Blackboard, and I understand if this is, someone else's department, but want to bring to your attention, there are some parts of the Blackboard interface that are not the greatest. For example, the interface, when you see your course module, it will have classes up there that I've taken, and then it just has them there. That the links are dead, but it's still there, and that is just more information that's unnecessary to have on the page. But also, using the Blackboard course messaging, which I understand is the policy, that's how we're supposed to contact our professors, there's really no way to have any sort of notification besides logging into Blackboard and checking course messages to know that we've received a message from our professor. Is there any way that Blackboard can be linked to our email in a sense that I get a course message and I get a notification in my Nova email box, hey, new message on Blackboard?
Well, thank you so much for that. And I will first respond by saying even though Blackboard is not in our department, it is certainly my responsibility to make sure that you have a great experience. I was talking to Dr. Cavaco a minute ago, and one of the first things that he mentioned was Blackboard issues, and I agree with all of that. I tell you right now, Tom West and his team work very hard to make sure that our Blackboard is operating as well as it can. We're taking notes on this, and I will share your concerns as well as Dr. Cavaco's concerns and those of the faculty with him and see if we can make sure that we continue to try to improve that. And also, too, all the questions that you ask, I'm going to post the answers online so you can see them. So just to let you know that this is not going to fall into a black hole someplace. And this is not the last time that you're going to hear this. We'll follow up to every answer that to every question that you ask, that we will have an answer for it. But Blackboard is a challenge, and I thank you for those comments and suggestions about it. Yes. Anyone else?
Good evening. My question is about performance reviews for the professors. I was recently informed that the evaluations we do at the end of class only goes to the professor and it's not reviewed by anyone else. Could you explain how performance reviews go for the professors? Well,
First I will respond by saying that I see them all.
You do?
And so do the professors, and as well as the department chairs. The evaluations we take very seriously, and so do the professors, as a matter of fact. I mean, even myself when I teach, I love to see them. Sometimes I don't like the tough comments, but that's the only way that we grow. So I can assure you that every evaluation is reviewed, especially when professors are being reviewed for contract continuations and raises, and we take them very seriously. So I'm not sure where you got that information from. But
Okay.
I can share with you that that's not the case.
I guess where my question comes from is I've heard continual complaints about the same things that happen in particular courses, and we don't really see a lot of change happening based off of the things that we put in evaluations. So.
Okay, so based upon that question, I'm getting pretty good at this, I think. There is a particular course and professor that you have an issue with?
Yes, and what, okay, so I guess
So,
what way can we?
So you don't have to bring it up right now, but
No, I'm not going to talk about what it
Okay.
is. I just want to know if we feel like our issues aren't being addressed in the evaluation, what's the next step that we could possibly take?
Well, the next step is to contact me
Okay,
directly.
all right.
And I would hope that too, if you have a situation right now, that before you leave, you let me know what the situation is, and we'll see if we can address it.
Okay, thank you, Dean.
And I'd like to just build upon that. Your input and your course evaluations are extremely important. Absolutely. And we get all kinds of evaluations. Some are glowing and outstanding. Others are not as complimentary. But we take them all seriously, and it's used to help us all to grow. So I want to make certain that your voice is heard. While the next person is coming up, yes, please.
Did you want to speak? Oh, okay. Good evening. I just wanted to know regarding the resume and interview department, the one that helps us, the resume. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm trying to deal with the too much feedback. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I called them and I left them a message, but they didn't return my call. So I wanted to know, is there any interaction that can be done via like computer, like a Skype or something like that? Because if I don't have the ability, because my schedule is too demanding to meet someone on campus, can there be some type of interaction on the phone or like I said, Skype? And also I wanted to know, is there any cost or fees associated with them interview, like going over our resumes, if you know anything about that?
So are you saying that you contact?
The department for resume writing and or review, and they didn't return my call. So my friend who used to attend NOVA says there's a fee associated. So I just wanted to know if that's the case.
Do you know what?
There may be a fee for alumni, Dr. Jones, but for current students, I have not heard of a charge, but for alumni, there may be. That's something we'll have to look further into.
Okay.
Okay, and so which number did you call? You remember?
There's a number on a brochure that gives us the events, the calendar for the next from 2014 to 2015, and I used the number there. I wouldn't know what number I used, but I did call and I left a message, and I just want to know if there's ability to talk to someone on the phone, because I'm usually an online student, but because I'm forced to come on campus, I have to come, but otherwise my schedule doesn't allow me to come to this campus.
Okay, so what you're asking is can we enhance the services to for the students who are online, so and we can do something virtual and work with you back and forth? Okay,
Yes,
I get
please.
that. And I'd also like to know, if you don't mind, before you leave, we can find out what number you're calling and you're not getting an answer, because that's not acceptable.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I have a follow-up question to the prerequisite. At this point in time, our schedule itself is not planned out yearly, because right now we do not have a schedule for what is going to be available for the summer or the fall of 2015. And also the prerequisites itself, some of the core courses, they're only offered once a year, but you can't advance to take your other courses if you don't take that. So I feel that should be offered more often.
And what program are you in, sir?
Right now I'm in the MPA program.
MPA program. Okay. We'll take a look into that. The MPA program, I think, is someone here from the MPA program? Okay. And you got his, okay, thank you so much. We'll take a look at that. Thank you very much. It's so quiet out here. You know?
Good evening. My name is Bridget, and I'm going to take this off. And I'm actually representing the Graduate Business Student Association with GBSA. And the question I'm going to ask has actually come across our office quite often, and it's in regards to the change of schedule. We are going to be changing schedule either to 8 weeks or 16 weeks, and we have a couple of students that had a question, so I really don't know how to answer or why is this occurring, especially because of the fact that the Huizenga Business School has branded itself with, we pretty much accommodate the working students. So what is going on in regards to that?
Well, let me spend some time speaking about the schedule. We are the last school of the 16 colleges and schools that are not on the traditional fall and winter and summer schedule that we are accustomed to. So we have been advised, and I agree that we should move to the schedule so that we can be aligned with the university with financial aid and all of the other services. You can imagine how challenging it is for a university of this size to have every program on a different schedule. So that's the reason why. As far as being able to accommodate the needs of the working student, the courses will be offered in 8-week segments or 16-week segments, depending upon the program. When I started my MBA, I started at Widener University in Delaware, and I took courses on the semester system, and I met over 8 weeks, and I was meeting 2 nights a week. And that gives you the flexibility. So you're going to be you actually be more time face-to-face than you would on our weekend schedule. The other thing about the weekend schedule, which I enjoyed, and I enjoyed the weekend schedule because I finished my MBA here. And one of the reasons why I came to NSU was because of the weekend schedule. We moved down here in 1987, and I was brand new job and brand new family, and so going to school Friday nights and all day Saturday was great. This also allowed us years ago, and I think it's been 40 years now, the program got started, we had virtually no full-time faculty, and we used that time and that schedule to facilitate faculty flying in from all over the country. So, for example, at 6 o'clock, if I had a 6 o'clock class, if I was teaching, I'd be on the plane by 11, 12 o'clock. I'm at my location. We had about 34 different clusters around the country. And so faculty could leave their jobs at the other universities, fly to NSU sites, teach the students, and then be home by Saturday evening or Sunday. So that model started 40 years ago. Faculty don't fly anymore. So that schedule was created to facilitate the working adult and then flying faculty here. The reality of today is we're finding that many students now don't want to give up their weekends. They really don't. How many of you want to go to school on weekends? See what I mean? It's changed, and right now, at the ripe old age of 100, I don't want to give up my weekends either. So not only is the market telling us something different, but also from an administration point of view, it's almost commanded us to move to this. But we'll make certain that the opportunities to finish are still there. As a matter of fact, you have more opportunity to finish within the time that you plan. It's just that this change and everything is new. We kind of look at things differently. I just love change, don't you? Of course you do. So this is a change, and we teach change pretty well. And as business students, we say, you got to change, and change is great, and the only thing that's definite is change in taxes. We say all of those things, but when it comes down to making these tough changes, it's difficult. So I will make certain that we're going to do our best to make sure that it is as seamless as possible, knowing that there are going to be some hiccups, but at the end, you'll have even more opportunity to finish when you plan to finish. It will be a lot more intense in 8 weeks, but I think that we're up to the challenge. So that's the reason why, and I think this will be in place for the next school year. 2016. Say 2016. Anyone else? Yes.
So to elaborate more on what you were saying, I signed up for the program as a weekend and online course, and a lot of my courses are only offered during the week at nighttime, so I'm forced to come here, which is super inconvenient for me. I'm almost done with my program, so it's fine at this point. But to build on top of that, the advisors are only here till 4 p.m., so I can't come see my advisor. I can call, but if I don't really know how to use SharkLink or WebLink to figure it out, it's kind of difficult. How come those resources aren't available for us students?
So you heard the question. Let me ask you, how many of you would enjoy having access to your advisor after 6 o'clock p.m. or between 5 and 6? Let me see a show of hands. Okay, we'll take a look at that. It's that simple. When I was going to school, I could not come during the week, and from time to time, when I was at the program, we would have advising on Saturdays. And so I think at the beginning of the term, we can do that, but we want to make certain that you have access to all of the resources, so we'll take that back and get to work on that too. Very good. Anyone else? Yes, and while you're coming up, I have some questions from our online students here. Jacob Barrett. And Jacob Barrett writes this. He says, a good portion of the graduates in the business school are full-time employed and part-time students. NSU has several valuable lectures, the Distinguished Lecture Series. However, they are normally done during the day from 10:30 till noon. Can you discuss if you see any opportunity to accommodate the lectures during the evening? The answer to that is yes. However, the caution is, if we schedule a time in the evening, how many of you would really come in to understand? So we're going to give it a try, and it will be this winter. This is probably the third or fourth question that I've gotten. I attend all of the President's Town Hall meetings. They've even asked for distinguished lectures in Miami. So we're going to try to do that, and hopefully that you will show up and take advantage, because they are really, really great lectures. We do make them available to you, but there's nothing like being there. So we're going to give it a shot this winter. Okay, Jacob, and Jacob has several here, so I'll try to get to them as we go through.
Good evening. Can everyone hear me? The question for me to you is, my first term here, I heard that there was a GSBA meeting. Now, I don't know if this is a question that you can directly answer or not. I actually went upstairs, went into their room where they were having the meeting, and they said, are you a member, and did you apply to be a member? And I said, no, I thought this is an open meeting. And they said, no, you have to apply to be in the GSBA. Now, when I go onto the Huizenga website, it says all business students are part of the GSBA. Now, I didn't know that there was a applying method that I needed to apply to be part of a club. So my inquiry is that something that we can change to have open? Because to be honest with you, I've been to other clubs where the first meeting is an open format, everyone can join, and I thought that wasn't something that was very pleasing to deal with. And I said, oh, so I have to apply to be in the club? So I'll leave you at that. And I don't know, going forward, if that policy can change, because it says something different on the website. So.
Okay, well, I will have a GBSA officer to talk to you, please, and we will take care of that for you, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Just so you'll know, and I'm really glad you're here, because you're looking at a founding member of the GBSA, 1993. And we were taking classes at the East Campus along with the Raccoons over on, before we moved here. We moved to this building in 2004, and this is our 10th year here. But to make a long story short, the GBSA was started by doctoral students. I was a doctoral student at the time. And it was open to every graduate student, both doctoral and full-time MBA student at the time. The evening students and the weekend students were invited to join. And so I'm sure that your membership will be accepted, and whatever dues there are or whatever you need to do to make sure that you're affiliated, there's a form to fill out, but I'm sure that the more the merrier, right, team? Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else, please? Let's see, I have an anonymous question here while the next person is coming up. Does NSU have services that connect businesses with the students for guaranteed positions? The second part of that question is there an internship program for the business school? So I'll deal with the second part first. The answer to that is yes. And for the undergraduate students in particular, we have more paid internship opportunities, and I call them our pre-professionals as well as our full-time MBA students, more paid internships. We don't believe in unpaid internships, by the way. That's not business-like, is it? Paid internships, we have more than the students volunteer to take. Last year, it was reported by the Office of Student Success that we had over almost 200 internships that went unfilled. So for this anonymous student, my colleague, I think the best way to enhance the guarantee of a position is to make certain that you take an internship. We have more internship opportunities than we have students to take them. And I share with you the best way to guarantee a position is not only do well here, but to take advantage of your network, take advantage of the faculty, take advantage of our career services, but be proactive about your career. And we're going to make sure that we enhance that so we can help you with that. So times are different, and there's a lot of competition. The job market is still very soft here. I get that. So our goal is to prepare you to compete. How many of you received the letter a few months ago that I sent on behalf of the faculty to all the graduate students? Raise your hand. It was sent by email. How many of you read your emails? See, that tells me. So I'm going to send this out again. And this is a letter that I sent to you on behalf of the faculty and the department chairs, which basically says that our mission is to prepare you to compete. Period, end of story. And whatever we need to do that, we are committed to do that. So I'm going to send it out again, and just to reassure you that that's our mission here. When you leave here, sometimes I use my pilot analogy. We want to make sure that you're able to fly the plane. And so the faculty are going to step up and do their part, and I know that all of you here are doing your part. You're working hard, you are committed, and you continue to challenge us and yourselves to be better. So I think that's the best way to guarantee success. And once you leave here, that doesn't stop our relationship. So I just want to let you know that. Everyone here, you have my email and my personal phone. If I see on here is my personal cell phone. And you can call me anytime, weekend, day or night, not after 11, please. And I will get back to you because it's that important for me to hear from you so that we can get better. Yes, anyone else, please? See, I'm going to start singing, and then you're going to... Let's see, what else do we have? I want to make sure I get to these. Distinguished lecture. Oh, here's Jacob again. Jacob Brett, this is yours. NSU has been making several improvements to various programs across the campus. However, there seems to be more emphasis on research and health programs. Can you please talk about the future investments NSU plans to make for the business programs? What Jacob is talking about are the two new facilities that are being actually three new facilities are being erected now in support of our medical program. We're looking for approval for a new teaching hospital, which will be erected over there. There's also one of the largest research centers, wet labs, that are being built right now. And so that's been getting a lot of press and a lot of politics involved, but I tell you, once that's done, that's really a good thing for the university as well as the the community to have a research hospital on campus. So as far as the business programs are concerned, the Board of Trustees and the President are investing millions of dollars in a couple of things that are very important. First of all, we are, and I'm going to answer this two-part because someone has asked a question about AACSB. firmly behind and investing the dollars for us to achieve accreditation, which is extremely important, and I will go over that in a minute. The second thing is that we're out trying to raise money now for a Bloomberg trading room. We're calling it Shark Street. How many of you are finance majors? And what we're going to do is to have all of you who are interested, even finance and non-finance majors, to become certified in Bloomberg Essentials. Have you heard of Bloomberg? Okay. It is essential for you to know these things, and even after you leave, you can come back and get and become certified, because the research capabilities for careers, for your courses, and especially if you're a finance accounting major, is extremely important. And so the plans are to put that up on the second floor in the values integration room, to revamp the entire thing, put 36 terminals in, and students will have the opportunity to have 2 managed investment funds, so that you can continue to learn about that. So that's one investment. I expect it's going to cost about $3 to $5 million to erect and also to maintain. The other is AACSB accreditation, and the question here is that what is the status of AACSB, and is NSU fully committed to achieving accreditation? The answer to that is extremely committed, fully committed, and will continue to be. As a matter of fact, I had a meeting with the provost and president this afternoon, and I update them regularly. We have a mentor that's been assigned, and she visited a month or so ago. She's coming back in January, and she's working with us to make sure that we're aligned to the 15 standards which are in the AACSB guidance. And I invite you to go to AACSB website, download the standards, and take a look at what they are, because it's extremely important for you to know these things. We're going to be, as we progress, invite the students to be involved to make certain that that you are a part of this initiative. Now, I'm asked the question all the time, when will we have AACSB accreditation? And I will share with you a little bit about the process and try to draw an analogy. How many of you have applied for a mortgage before? Very simple process. You apply, fill out an application, you get pre-approved, you start to exchange documents, bank drives you crazy for a while, you finally set a closing date and you close, sometimes within 30 days or less, hopefully, right? Some people think that AACSB accreditation is like that. You fill out an application, you get some documents, and someone comes and says, okay, you approve, you close, and it's done. That's not how it works. My faculty colleagues here can attest, and they can chime in if they like. Achieving accreditation is similar to finishing a doctoral dissertation. We have a committee, we have a mentor, which is like a chair, and we must comply with what this mentor and what the standards are. And when they say we're ready, that's when we're ready. So it's really important for you to learn what the process is, and we're sending you information as we move along, but you need to be fully aware. We're going to make sure that you're fully aware what this process is. And what's important about this is that AACSB, achieving that, says one thing, and one thing that's very important about our school. And I use the analogy of a coin. AACSB and quality, same coin, different sides. Same coin, different side. We will demonstrate to the accrediting body that the programs and the students here are of a quality to be recognized by them. And so they're excited about our application. I was in Atlanta last week visiting with deans who will be part of our visiting committee. And so I can honestly say that we're on the path to do that. It's going to take a lot of work from the faculty. They're looking at me now and saying, we know it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work from you. Why? Because we have to tell our story about how great you are. And that's an easy story to tell. So we have some things to do administratively. The faculty have a lot of work to do. And we're always making sure that we're continually improving our courses, our programs, our processes, whether it's advising or anything else, because we must demonstrate that we're doing things that get better and better and better, and that's really what they want to see. So this is part of that, to get feedback from you so that we can continue to get better and better and better, and so we can help you become better as well. So I can send and that's what I'll do. I'll send the link to the standards so you can see them, because I think that when you read them, you go, wow, this is really impressive. And now I understand that this is not the easiest thing in the world to achieve, but like anything else that's of value, nothing is. So I'm looking forward to that. Any other questions? Concerns? Criticisms? Yes. Pizza.
Okay, I'm sorry I keep coming up, but actually I'm representing so many students that it's kind of hard. Okay, so one of the questions that came to our office was, so the Sales Institute is currently vacant. And I've had a lot of students come up to me and say, why can't we have, we have projects in our classrooms, but we're reading cases for Harvard, or we're reading cases from other colleges. Why can't we have a project where we could take a business and actually work the business throughout the class? How could we address that? And we could use the Sales Institute. I did hear someone say that we're currently having projects with the Sales Institute. So how can we address that?
So you just did. And the reason I say you just did is because we'll make certain that the faculty who are here, Dr. Turaj and others, include something like that as part of the curriculum. There are a couple of classes right now that actually do consulting for companies. Jim Barry's does, I think Dr. Turaj's and a few others, that there may be a couple. So it does exist. The question is, how do you expand it to include more? But the Sales Institute as a facility is used by students who are taking sales classes. How many of you taking sales classes? Okay, a couple. And the undergraduate program in sports requires sales courses, and they're doing their practices and so forth. So in terms of room and space, we can multi-purpose that room so you can do cases and so forth and so on. But we have the faculty here, and we'll make sure that they hear that you like to have that expanded. We can do a lot more, I think, in exposing you to real-life experiences with ongoing firms. So.
Okay. The next thing would be probably addressing, just because we have so many students coming through the GBSA room and asking questions about internships, which you addressed, that we had over 200 internships. So just for those that have asked that question, we currently have plenty boards all around the school, as well as Mary Toledo sends out various emails, which our faculty does a great job in regards to that. Just be on the lookout, because we have a lot of internships, as well as I had a question about, do we offer scholarships? Do we offer scholarship for businesses? Especially because it's so hard to sit there and write an essay. We do offer scholarships as well. GBSA has partnered up as well with an organization which is called CKSF, the Common Knowledge Scholarship Foundation, and we're currently offering a scholarship that's finance scholarship, not for finance students, but for all graduate business students. So just be on the lookout for that as well. And actually, I think that's it for now.
Thank you. Anyone else? Going once? Going twice? I have one last question here from Mr. Sun, and he's an international student. I'm not sure if he's here, but I will read. He has a three-part question. What are your biggest challenges now for the graduate program and the business school? And the other way, what's our focus right now? And I think I've shared that. We have a pretty soft job market, I think, and I think that our biggest challenge is to prepare you to compete for that, especially if you are going to stay in South Florida. Many of these students who are not employed, I encourage them to seek opportunities all over the country, because that's what you would like to do. But that's our biggest challenge right now. His second question is, as an international student, I've never heard of NSU until moving to Miami. So what are you doing to build up our international reputation, at least catch up with the University of Miami, which is a private school as well? Well, I voted down the football team. So we won't have the Sharks and the Hurricanes, but and they'll never play the Hurricanes. But what I will share with you is this, is that we recognize that our reach in international has not been broad. And Dennis Daniker and a few of the faculty have developed a plan for us not only to enhance our international recruiting, but to enhance the services as well. It takes a lot of money to advertise. It takes a lot of money to do that, and that's an investment that we'll be doing. Now, having said that, we have a number of international alumni, and the fact that we need to reach out to them so that they can help us to get the word out about NSU is part of their plan. So, Mr. Sun, if you'd like to come and visit with me more, we'd love to hear your thoughts about how to expand our international reach, because we're definitely trying to do so. Any more questions at all? Ready to get back to class? Well, let me say this to you, and I know that probably this format is a little bit intimidating for you, and sometimes you may not want to speak up. I have cards here, and I'd like for you to either call or email me with your questions. I will get back to you. We're going to post the answers and your concerns. But I just want to tell you how much I appreciate, on behalf of the faculty and the entire HSBE family, how pleased we are and delighted we are that you have entrusted your education to us, and we will continue to try to deliver on our commitment for quality. So with that being said, enjoy the rest of your evening, and hope that you don't work too hard, Dr. Roger, or these great students. Thank you very much.